Dear children, in the previous class we discussed capital market instruments such as equity shares, preference shares, debentures or bonds. Then today we are going to discuss the fourth capital market instrument, that is innovative debt market instruments. Fourth one, innovative debt market instruments. These are the fourth capital market instruments, innovative debt market instruments. Warrants and convertible securities are some of the earliest corporate financial innovations. So, innovative debt market instrument mainly includes warrants and convertible securities. So, they are the earliest corporate financial innovative instruments. In the case of warrants, warrant is a kind of innovative debt market instrument. In the case of warrant, there are two types of warrants. First one is detachable warrants and the second category is non-detachable warrants. So, warrants we can divide it into two types, detachable warrants and non-detachable warrants. In the case of detachable warrants, that types of warrants we can sold separately in the market. So, detachable warrants we can sold separately in the market. Non-detachable warrants are just opposite of detachable warrants. They are not sold in the original market separately. So, warrants are the most important innovative debt market instruments. After that, the second category of innovative debt market instruments are zero interest fully convertible debentures. So, zero interest fully convertible debentures are the second category of innovative debt market instrument. This fully convertible debentures we popularly known as FCD. FCD is fully convertible debenture. In this type of debentures, in the case of fully convertible debentures, there is no interest is paid to the investors. There is no interest is paid to the investors in the case of FCD, fully convertible debentures. It will be automatically converted into shares after a particular period of time. So, there is no interest is paid to investors. It will be automatically converted into shares after a particular period of time. Such types of convertible debentures are known as zero interest fully convertible debentures. The third type of innovative debt market instruments are zero coupon bonds or zero interest bonds. Zero coupon bonds or zero interest bonds. In the case of zero coupon bonds or zero interest bonds, no interest is paid on such type of bonds prior to the maturity. So, prior to the maturity, there is no interest is paid on such types of bond. They are popularly known as zero coupon bonds or zero interest bonds. So, we discussed about innovative debt market instruments. We discussed three types of innovative debt market instruments. One is warrant, second is zero interest and fully convertible debentures, and the third category is zero coupon bonds. We can conclude that there are four types of capital market instrument. Equity shares, we discussed types of equity shares. Then preference shares, we already discussed the types of preference shares, debentures, and today we discussed about innovative debt market instruments. Our next heading is forward contract or forwards. Forward contract or forwards. Forward contract. Forward contract or forwards is an agreement to buy or sell an asset on a specified period or a specified date for a specified price. So, forward contract is an agreement to buy or sell an asset in a specified date or specified price. So, It is a financial contract. Forward contract considered as a financial contract, obligating the buyer to buy and the seller to sell a given asset at a predetermined price and in a future date. So, forward contract is an agreement for buy or sell an asset. Here, the buyer or seller sell an asset or buy an asset at a predetermined price and in a predetermined date. Its main peculiarity is no cash are exchanged until the delivery of the assets. So, the main point is no cash are exchanged or no cash are transacted until the delivery date of the asset. Such kinds of agreement is known as forward contract or forwards. Our next heading is future contract or futures. Future contract is also known as futures. A future contract is an agreement. It is also an agreement in between two parties to buy or sell an asset at a certain time in future at a certain price. So, future contract is also an agreement between two parties to buy and sell an asset in a certain time in future at a certain price. Here, the price is agreed today and delivery occurring at a specified future date. So, we have to note the point that here the agreed price, the price is agreed today and delivery occurring at a specified future date. That is the main difference between futures and forwards. In future contract or futures, the price agreed today and delivery occurring at the specified future date. So our next heading is option contract or options. Option contract is also known as options. It is also a contract. An option is the right to select a particular action among choices. So, option is the right to select a particular action among various choices. So, an option is a contract for buying or selling an asset at a specific price on or before a certain date. So, option is also a contract for buying and selling of an asset at a specific price on or before a certain date or a certain period. Then we can divide options or option contracts into two categories. The first one is, here we can divide option contract or options into two. The first one is call option and the second is put option. In the case of call option, owner gives the right. In the case of call option, here the owner gives the right but not the obligation to buy a future contract at a fixed price at any time on or before a given date. Such kind of option is known as call option. So, call option is, in the case of call option, the owner gives the right but not the obligation to buy a future contract. Then in the second case, put option, here the owner gives the right but not the obligation to sell future contract at a fixed price. So, the main difference between call option and put option, in the case of call option, the owner gives the right but not the obligation to buy an asset. But in the case of put option, the owner gives the right but not the obligation to sell an asset. So that is the main difference between call option and put option. Call option and put options are the types of option contract. So children, please listen that there are two types of contract we discussed: forwards, futures and options. These all are very important. It is very important for your examination.